literally 20 years ago. I was working at this radio station, and they came out and they're like, "Hey, we want you to have a personal trainer who comes to your house, and then you can talk about your experience." And it was a sponsor, so I was like, "All right." And so then the guy didn't like me. Immediately didn't like me because the first thing I said to him when he showed up, it was, for the meeting was, "So there's a personal trainer who's going to come to your house." I'm like, "Do I have to be there?" He did not think that was the least bit funny.
That is funny though.
Yeah, no, he didn't care for that.
Was he a drill instructor previously?
A little bit, and I didn't feel like I was. I felt like maybe I should be on a treadmill, not just sitting there doing balancing exercises. So anyway, it just wasn't right for me. But yeah, but that's when I learned how bad peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are for you. So I only have them every now and then, but I do love them so much. Moist One says artisanal bread for the PB and J's. Am I even pronouncing that right?
I have no idea. I'm not cultured enough to really know, personally.
It's like one of those words you've seen a lot, but you don't ever hear me say. Is it artisan? Artisan? Is it artisan?
Probably artisan.
Latina Leprechaun says, Jeffrey, you're a good-looking guy. Don't sell yourself short. Any lucky lady would be lucky to have you as a spouse. Well, I have a spouse. I wasn't shopping for guys.
It's all good.
I've just put on some weight that I'd like to get rid of. That's all. No, it wasn't the Summit male guy. That was not him. That dude's not a personal trainer. That guy gives you the when your softy needs to be a stiffy, he gives you the stuff to make that happen. Sir Drives a Lot says Luka is an open door to the basket. Dallas probably has the best defense in the league going forward. Well, I mean, night and day is not necessarily a given for either part of this. You just got to see how all the pieces fit together.
I think the short term fits together better for Dallas. I think the long term works out better for LA.
Because they're trying to figure out what do we do with now, and now is a mess. But you've got what a great mess to have. Quiet Cannon says Mavericks made a better trade than the Lakers. Let's see who goes further in the NBA playoffs. Again, we're not to the trade deadline yet. More things might be on the way to happen. So we can't even make that determination right now. We're still waiting for the Suns to figure out their bleep. Does it feel like they're getting there? I don't know.
It's unclear. All I know is that they were listening. They were listening to offers on Durant.
Sorry, I'm not mocking you.
Yeah, no.
I just saw Kiss the Cook says Luka Angeles. Okay. Luka Angeles.
No, we heard you the first time, and it was
Luka Angeles. Lakers.
Because repeating it does not make it better.
How about Luke Cakers? I guess not. It's even worse.
Sounds bad.
Can we be done talking about that now? Is there more that we need to talk about on this?
I think that's all the things.
It is. I am curious of what the future holds too, but I can't even settle in on this thought process until after the trade deadline, because right now the Suns got blown out by the Trailblazers. So our little bleep show's got to get de-bleeped. And
does it stop losing to clearly tanking teams and somehow winning against teams that, we write you off, you win that game, but then you go and play the Blazers and just get blown out of the gym?
If the Suns can't get Jimmy Butler, if there's too much in the way of it, they got to do something. And we don't know what that something is. I guarantee you that the powers that be have a big whiteboard in a room that nobody's allowed to go into. At the top, figure out this Jimmy Butler stuff. After that, there's another idea. And after that, there's another idea. And some of these ideas have already had phone calls attached to them. The Suns are going to do something. Just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, and I like it. And it's funny that the big trade that we're talking about involves the Mavs and the Lakers, because the Mavs seem to be trying to see if they can do something right now, where the Lakers are trying to do something further down the road. The Suns are kind of at a place they could go either way. They could either try to do something right now, really force the issue with this Butler trade, or something else. Or you could say, you know what, we did get some picks from the Jazz recently. If teams are calling about Durant, I hear the Warriors are very desperate to have him back. what if you just leaned into that and got more picks?
I like Durant.
I like Durant too. But if you're going to acknowledge that this is not working right now, the better thing would be to do for your organization in the future and for Durant right now, rather than trapping him on a team that can't win a title, let him go and then get yourself something back in return.
Hey, Portland Trailblazers. If we give you Durant, will you give us DeAndre Ayton back?
Should have never traded him if that's really how it was going to turn out.
We didn't know he was going to come back around. But here's the thing. You know what, though? That needed to happen for DeAndre Ayton to become what he is now, because it wasn't happening with the Suns.
It was kind of happening because DeAndre Ayton's on a
run. I doubt
DeAndre
Ayton would want to come back now.
Ayton was on a run of like 20 points and 10 rebounds, and that's basically what he's doing right now. It's the solid, consistent, you're going to get that, and a guy that defends the basket.
Will you get that sort of output and effort when the playoffs are happening? And you're like, can we play the game?
Maybe
play the game?
Maybe not, but right now you're getting nothing out of Nurkic. Zero.
Yeah, I thought Nurkic was just supposed to be a bridge to somebody else, and there was never a somebody else.
Like Nurkic was just kind of was definitely part of the plan, and he worked better with Vogel than he does with Budenholzer, and that's kind of the big issue right now.
So what's going to happen with the Trailblazers hosting the Suns tonight? I feel like the Suns should win this game, but I also feel like they should have won the last game. So now I don't even know what to think.
They are a better team. They were coming off the second night of a back-to-back in the last game, so that does affect it a little bit. But I can't tell you which version of the Suns show up on the floor. And that's the problem that I have with them is I could pick them to win just based on my eyes. My eyes tell me the Suns are a better basketball team than the clearly tanking Portland Trailblazers, who aren't Wizards bad.
Well, they're not tanking too.
But they're not great. Well, they're rebuilding. So like they're not in that same like we're bottoming out place that the Pistons were a year ago or the Wizards are this year. They're further along in what they're trying to do, but they still want to develop the young guys, and whatever comes out of that. If it results in a better pick, fine, so be it. The Suns are trying to play for a chip. There's no way you should lose to that team. But I don't know which version of the Suns show up on the floor.
I don't think we're chipping this year. Do you really think we're chipping this year?
I do not think we're chipping.
I know I'm not using that correctly. I know I'm not good at this thing when people are, because then I hear a little girl here at the house saying, "Oh, I'm shipping those two." I mean, I could, like what? Where are you shipping them to? No, I'm putting them in a relationship with each other. And I'm like, oh, so if I say we're not chipping this year, does that work? Is that?
I don't think I've ever heard that one. And my personal rule is if I've never heard a person say it, it absolutely does work if I say it with enough confidence. We are chipping.
We're not chipping
this year. No,
we're not chipping this year.
We're not chipping.
I think it works.
I think I
might have just invented something.
When you said it, I was like, I like that. I will be saying that. Yeah.
I just leave it up to some Gen Z to come up and say, "You're stupid." And I'm like, okay.
I don't care about that either, though.
That's also true.
I get it. Yeah, I don't care.
Quiet Cannon says, Suns, please get a big man. Anthony Davis type of draft would be just fine.
Apparently, the market for Anthony Davis involved one team because only one team knew he was movable.
That's the other thing. A bunch of other teams are probably like, what the hell, man? Elzar of the Mountain says, how about we call them the Los Angeles Lurkers? How about, I think he means to say the Los Angeles Lucas. There's only one Lucas. So you can't pluralize that. So Lurkers works. Baker's Cocky Hen says, can we admit it was Monty effing Williams the whole damn time? Almost like I was yelling it from the rooftops. Monty was a good coach.
Monty was a good coach, but like, I think the biggest factor was Chris Paul. Things turned around for Monty and this team when Chris Paul was here.
Yeah.
Because that guy does not take average ever from anyone.
Sir Drives a Lot says Ayton is on a team where empty stats can be had. Ayton watches teams play offense too much. Okay. He says Suns need to follow up and trade KD.
It's a future play. If you want to win right now, then you get some help for KD. If you're like, I don't think we can win right now, and no matter what we do, we will just keep digging this hole further where we just keep getting further and further above the cap. We can't do anything. We're just stuck constantly, can't sign new players, all that. Then you know, it's not just unloading the Durant contract. You'd be getting back picks. You'd be getting back players that you could hopefully use in the future.
Can I just say this? I think I'm sorry. I think Kevin Durant is the coolest dude we've ever had on the Suns.
Yeah. And honestly, if you had to choose of the three guys on this team to move, you choose Beal. But Bradley Beal has a no trade clause because the Wizards were run by Ernie Grunfeld, who is arguably one of the worst general managers in the history of basketball.
I mean, who's cooler than KD? I mean,
It's hard.
Charles Barkley was fun. He was a heel. He always took a heel turn with other people, and he was always fun. I liked Charles Barkley, but I'm saying Kevin Durant is just cool, man. He's cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know, maybe like when I was growing up, Tracy McGrady. That's about it. That's about it.
Sir Drives a Lot says someone cool said this earlier. Suns aren't chipping anytime soon. Thanks, man. Devilhawk says, can someone explain to me why the Suns are having a mini playoff series with the Trailblazers playing 2 games in a row in Portland over 3 days? Back-to-backs are usually a home and then an away kind of thing, right?
It depends on how far away the other team is. Portland is obviously pretty far away, so sometimes you'll finish like a back-to-back like the Suns did, and then you'll finish the back-to-back in Portland, have a few days to rest, and then play the rubber band matchup there. It happens in the East Coast when teams play Boston quite a bit. If you're in the Southeast and you go up to the Northeast, sometimes you end up playing Boston, and then you play Boston again in Boston. I don't know why.
Hefty Lefty says, so as a Lakers fan, this trade took me by surprise, and I thought it was a fake like a lot of other people. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I'm sure the Suns fans in the fourth dimension don't care what I think. So I'll lead with this. Did you see the best name in basketball join the Indiana Fever on a 1-year deal? The legendary DeWanna Bonner.
She's pretty damn good, man.
Please note for the record that I said her name correctly.
You did.
And not the other way.
Which I'm happy. I really.
You're like growth. There's been growth.
Been, yes. We've come a long way.
But I was thinking.
Oh yeah, I know you were thinking it. Saw it in your face.
Just doing the right thing here. Just doing the right thing. Bat Flipper says Suns will be chipping on the greens after the second round. Hey, listen, I'll be just happy we get there. I mean, who knows?
Not guaranteed the way things are going right now.
Nothing is guaranteed. My God, look where we stand right now. Phoenix Suns are 25-23. We are 13 and a half games back from first place in the Western Conference. And then you just take a look at where we are in our own division. We're in third place. We're 3.5 games back behind the Los Angeles Lakers. So, but it's also, if you look across the board here, everybody's in it because well, the Dallas Mavericks they're 7.5 games out of first place in their division. So that's a tougher road for them to climb. But anybody really is still kind of in this. It's too early to say they're not.
The Western Conference is just uniquely loaded. There's a reason why the Warriors are picking up the phone and trying to find any star that any team will be willing to give them. It's because even at 11th in the Western Conference, they're 500 and they're just a couple of wins away from jumping all the way up to 7th, 6th. The Western Conference it's brutal, man. You got to get to the East. That's really if you're a superstar, I think that's the play. Get to the Eastern Conference, you'll be all right.
Well, for those of you who watch the Daily Blender like it's a TV show, it's now posted and backed on. Everything is fine now. Everything is working. Everything's good here. Everything's fine. How are you? It's on. It's all you need. I'm not thinking that we are more TV show than we are radio show. Radio show more important than TV show. But there are some people who, for unknown reasons, put us up on their big screen TVs and watch us like we're an actual TV show.
And you know what? It is easier to justify like listening to the radio in your house if you're streaming it.
It makes it easy. It's on the YouTube. Best speakers in the house. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and that's the setup for a lot of people. Most people don't go home and turn on their radio. So it's usually a car thing.
You're making me sad for our way of life.
I know.
So, speaking of the TV and stuff that you guys are watching us on, it's unsettling to me that Navy Brad watches us on literally a 100-inch television.
Just all the blemishes right up in your face.
Just hi, we're in your house, and of course, when there's the two of us side by side like this, when there's not a third, now we're even bigger in their houses, and that's
Yeah.
got to be disturbing for pets, family members, and everybody else walking by, looking in the window, going, "Ah!" So, so I am kind of curious. How big are your TVs out there? Now, a lot of people are like, "Well, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl on my TV where it's comfy." My wife was like, "Have we been invited to any Super Bowl parties?" And I'm like, "Nobody invites me anywhere." And I said, "But I no." And I'm like, "We got a perfectly fine TV right here that we can watch." So the question is, well, how big is your TV? And how big do you want your TV to be? What do you think is the right size TV? Now, you're living, like if I'm in an apartment, I don't think I want more than 75 inches. I think that anything above 75 inches gets really hard on the eyes. If you can't move back away from it, you know what I'm saying? To where, because when we first got the 85-inch TV, we had to move all our furniture away from it because Sue was like, "This is too much. It's too much. It's overwhelming," and it was like give you a headache. So I guess that goes with how big is your current TV? How big do you wish your TV was? You know, what makes sense for you? I'd be fine just with 75 inches. If that was all I could get, I'd be fine with that. I'm glad I've got a little room where I can move my stuff back. But it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Let me show you this. You see this right here in my hand, my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can get a movie or a TV show on my phone. And if I hold it right here, I can cover up my entire TV screen with it, you know, from my own vision, like this. And then you have the people who wear those Oculus, or you wear the VR headsets and you're watching TV there. So size of the TV doesn't even matter anymore. What really matters is 4K or even 1080. It just having good, clean, clear quality is more important than the size of the TV.
Yeah, I don't need my TV to be a wall.
Now, granted, I like to make bacon, and the stove is directly the farthest thing away from the TV, and I look back over, having a big ass TV is kind of nice. Because I can be like, right. Oh, I can see the grass on the field. That's nice. But you know, if I didn't, see, this phone just kind of gives me the perspective. You sit as close as you need to, and it's the same. As I'm saying, a 55-inch TV, if you're sitting at the right distance, is the same as a 100-inch TV if you're sitting at the right distance. And you can't, there's a certain point you can't get closer to it or your brain melts. Is it just me?
It's not just you. It's not just you. I agree.
Ghetto Girl says the size doesn't matter argument doesn't work. Ghetto Girl, we're not talking about what you think we're talking about. We're talking about televisions. So,
and at a certain point, a bigger TV just does not help you. It just doesn't help you.
I like the big TV because then when I stand there and I'm watching something and I'm yelling at the TV or something, it makes more sense. I don't know why. Than if I'm standing there yelling at a little TV.
Oh, no, feels a little weird. Because it feels like, because one feels like you're yelling at the game. The other one feels like you're yelling at the TV, and the poor little TV's like, "I'm trying my best."
like you're yelling at a child, basically.
Yeah, it didn't do anything to you. Why are you being so mean to this little TV?
It's abusive.
TV's working as hard as it can.
You know, as a couple, my wife and I, our first TV was 65-inch TV, and that lives in our bedroom on top of a piece of furniture, and that's just the perfect size for our bedroom. So, you know, size does matter, Ghetto Girl. Size matters to the appropriate size. This is what I've always... Here's how you know you got the right size. If they don't complain it's too small, and nobody says, "Ouch, that's too big." That's how you know an average size is just right.
Oh,
we're talking about TVs, you perv.
We're
talking about TVs.
We are talking about TVs. Yes, we are.
Kiss the Cook says 55 is fine for me. Baker's Cocky Hen says my TV's not small. It's average, damn it. Guess your place is a little cold. That's understandable. It's a little understandable. Beer Bob says the Indiana Fever also got my favorite Mercury player, Sophie Cunningham. I was so bummed out when I heard the news. I loved her on the Sun pre and post games. On the Suns pre and post games.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sophie's cool, man. Absolutely tough, mean as hell, and sharpshooter. Really good 3-point shooter.
Niner Annapolis says I've been pretty happy with the 70-inch 4K in the family room, a nice 8 feet away or so, but I find myself thoroughly enjoying the 20-inch crystal clear kitchen TV while whipping up some delicious foods and enjoying beverages. That's what I'm talking about. Your distance to it is what matters. And with the new technology, you could sit there and look at a 30-inch TV and be like, this is amazing. It's kind of like your laptop, kind of like your phone. Man, when I was traveling and stuff, I was watching all sorts of stuff on my phone, perfectly happy. It's about perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's about the perspective. Latina Leprechaun says, Mr. Latina Leprechaun has a 55-incher. It's just right for the bedroom.
Okay.
But we need a larger one in the living room. I feel like I'm just going to go with
it's just the way that she's worded this.
We're still talking TVs.
We are still talking TVs.
We're still talking TVs. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Let's talk about U of A and ASU and the things that happen. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Weekend Warriors are hosting a super duper Super Sunday pregame show.
And you're invited. Join us on February 9th from 9 to noon at the Spot Neighborhood Grill in Glendale.
Of course, we'll talk about the upcoming big game. We'll have special guests and great audience giveaways.
And you'll get to meet me in person.
They'll get to meet all of us in person.
Yeah, but I'm the best looking one of the bunch.
Anyways, join us as we broadcast live from the Spot Neighborhood Grill on Bell Road in Glendale.
February 9th from 9 to noon before the big game.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Sir Drives a Lot says, I go home and turn the radio on. No driving today. Got the backyard chores. See, he turned the radio on. Did you turn the radio on, or did you just put it on the app and put it on the speakers? Kind of curious. I don't care how you listen to this stuff, as long as you listen. But, you know, I mean, we have radio stations, 1580 AM. We have 99.3 FM, and then we got 95.9 FM in the East Valley. And then we got the app. And then we've got the stream online at, 1580thefanatic.com. You can probably find us on TuneIn Radio. You can probably find us another place. Then if you're like, I couldn't get around to you can find this show on Spotify. You can find this show at 1580thefanatic.com. We have, when you listen on demand, our podcast. I still don't think we should call it podcast. Just call it replays. I don't know. It's not really a podcast. It's recorded hours of the show.
Yeah, it became the term podcast initially just because it's just something that people listen to on
an
iPod. It kind of doesn't make sense anymore to say it like that. And now podcasting is considered a format unto itself. So you're thinking about something else when you
Nobody
say
has an iPod anymore.
No.
Sir Drives a Lot says the app equals radio now. Yeah, that works, man. That works.
And it is all radio.
Don't even care. I mean, I don't know how if we get rated through that or not. Don't care. I mean, why start now?
I think you can. I don't know. I worked at the last station I worked at. They made it a point of saying to everybody, whether you're watching on YouTube or the app or whatever, it's all radio.
Yeah, all right. It works for me.
Yeah.
Cardinal Art says, got my radio on out back on the patio, grilling some ribeyes for the wife, smoking some wings for me. God, that's majestic. That is majestic. And that I feel proud to be the listening choice while you cook those things. You know, my wife asked me, do you know how to grill a ribeye?
That's a little hurtful.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
that's a little hurtful.
I realize she's never bought any. We've never grilled ribeyes since we've been together. 11 years.
Wow. Okay. That's a long time for.
You know why? Because the ribeye to me is just, it's best rare-ish. You know what I'm saying? And she likes hers more medium rare or just more closer to medium. And I guess you don't think about ribeye. Ribeye is like like we'd go to a steak restaurant and say, hey, do you have ribeyes tonight? No, we're all out. So it seemed like a unicorn of steaks. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to be honest, I just feel kind of fatty. They're kind of fatty to me. You know?
I
prefer other cuts.
Yeah.
But they can also be very tender and very beautiful.
And delicious as hell. Yeah.
So yes. But yeah, she was questioning whether or not I could grill a ribeye. It was hurtful. Baker's Cocky Hens. We're not doing Diddy jokes, man. Well, I'm just not going down that road, man.
Yeah.
Beer Bob says, we have a 75-inch TV in the living room. I'd like to upgrade to 85 or 96, but the wife keeps shutting it down. A 40-inch in my man cave. No TV in the bedroom because bedrooms are only for two things. All right. Sleeping and, well, you're married, so.
Doing your taxes?
Is that where you do your taxes?
No.
Oh. Fifth letter says, hey, did you guys hear Pete Mother effing Carroll is taking over in Vegas? Long after we talked about it. Sir Drives a Lot says, my lady is grilling up some chicken as I chore it up. Not bad. Not bad. How's she cooking that chicken? She making that, my wife, she can, here's the thing. If I'm not available to grill, she's learned how to grill, but if I'm not available to grill, she cooks stuff on the stove in a pan. Listen, she's the secret to my grilling success because she flavors the stuff before I set it on fire. So you think she can't make great stuff on the stove even if I'm not around? Oof. So yes, your lady grilling up some chicken as you chore it up, Sir Drives a Lot. Lucky. Cardinal Art says, my radio never changes. It's only on Daily Blender. for me. Even when the other shows are on, I'm tuned in, just waiting for 3:00. Well, it also means you're listening to the other shows, so you're welcome. King of Kitten says, "Hey Jeffrey, how often do you say ouch? That's too big." When I'm swimming naked in the pool and it scrapes bottom. Ouch. Sir Drives a Lot says jerk. Wow. Oh, his thinky wheel. He says jerk chicken on the Traeger.
Oh, I was like, wow, that's so mean. Why?
I was all like happy for him.
Like, we've been nice today. Mostly.
Your Lady Grills? Wow.
Jerk chicken is nice though.
No, but it's Lady Grills. That's awesome. My wife is learning. She wants to. So respect.
That's a twofer right there.
T. Leisure says the only thing worse than all this Lakers BS is most of them are Dodger fans too. And my heart broke when Sophie Cunningham got traded. She made Suns games worth watching. Did they traded an announcer? I don't think that's how that works. I don't think she got traded if she worked there.
She got traded as a Mercury player, but she was on Suns broadcasts.
Oh, so she was
she's
doing both.
Yeah, so she's not going to be on the broadcast.
She still can. Shut up.
I mean, when you know what? When the Fever are in town, I hope they invite her back because she is really good.
Wow, I have think I've seen her. I don't really watch the pre-games. Happy Lefty says it really is all relative when it comes to television size. None of us complained as kids playing 4-player GoldenEye split screen on that 20-inch square monitor. We couldn't wait to set the map to stacks, then turn on slappers only and declare no odd job. Well, man, I remember one of the worst things you can be accused of. Screen looker. Don't look at my screen. No, screen looker. When you're all playing on the same TV, it made it harder to sneak up on people. So if you were effectively not being snuck up on, everybody's like, you're looking at my screen.
As opposed to you just being good. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not good at shooters. I was looking at everybody's screen.
Yeah.
I hate losing, and it's either that or lose. So guess what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm looking at your screen. Do something about it.
Don't act like you didn't ever look. Occasionally I would look, but here's what I would do. I get the laptop gun and I'd stick it in the places and I would just camp in a hole and they'd come, I was an expert at just camping with the laptop guns. Sir Drives a Lot says you got 10 minutes to get here if you want some. Well, I may have 10 minutes to get there, but from Queen Creek, I doubt I'd get there in time. It does sound good. I appreciate that. Keon, however, might be close enough. T. Leisure says, of course, I'll miss her scrappy, fiery ass playing for the Mercury. Of course.
Yeah, she's really good. She's a really good player, but also like a solid broadcaster. That's Sophie Cunningham.
Big George, you're a fat liar. Sorry. Sometimes I pre-read the next text. He says, Keon, I listen to the show via my tabletop radio. What are you saying? You're a liar. You're in California. You're not listening on a tabletop radio. I mean, listen, our 1580 AM, it does go a good distance, but it doesn't go Carlsbad, California distance.
So you're not exactly making the point. But even if you were making the point that you thought you were trying to make by lying, I would say you're in the vast minority of people.
And if you are listening to a legit radio, I am thrilled that me calling you a big fat liar actually had to go through the airways all the way to Carlsbad, California.
Because if you're listening to it on a tabletop radio, you are
impressive.
Still using some other online device to play it.
No, I just don't believe him at all.
I don't believe him at all. No.
Swave Dave says, first television I ever bought myself was a 13-inch. Not very impressive by TV standards, but the girlfriend doesn't mind 13-inch at all because of that, we had to get cozy and able to watch it. You know what? That's a good point.
That is a solid strategy.
It's like we got this king size bed, and then like we go on a vacation and we're on a queen size bed and we're all cozied up. I'm like, hey, I like this. Don't you, honey? Don't pretend like you're asleep. You were just talking to me.
No.
Swuzman shows me his radio. He said, this is the radio I'm listening to right now. It's a little mini radio that I got on eBay. Oh, that's awesome. That is cool. And that works good for you, huh? That is neat. You know what? Living out here in Queen Creek, I have a harder time being inside this house. It's like, I guess I could put an antenna up or something, but that's a badass little radio there, Swaz, man. Good for you. By the way, as far as people in the country go, they did do a poll on this during the break. I looked this up because I was just kind of curious what everybody likes. A news survey asked, if money wasn't an issue, what is the largest TV that you would put in your house? And surprisingly, many people don't follow the bigger is better philosophy either. 20% of people said they wouldn't go bigger than 65 inches. That was actually the most popular answer. It's a good sized TV. It's not like garishly huge, and it's not so small you can't see it. 18% said 75, 12% said 85, 6% said 100, and 7% said, I just get the biggest thing I can get. Which, in that case, you might as well just darken the room and get a projector.
Yeah.
Make it as big as your wall.
There's the projectors that are out now are like all 4K, so it'll still look real nice too.
You know, here's the thing, Navy Brad, with your 100-inch TV, you're flipping around, you're watching cool stuff, and then all of a sudden you hit Judge Judy. Is that better to have? Just, you know what I'm saying? There's some things you don't want to see at 100 inches. You don't want to see 100 inches. Right. George, he says, I'm listening through the auxiliary input of my radio from my phone. You're not listening on the radio, then you're listening on your phone.
That's exactly what I said. If you are in fact listening from a radio, you are streaming from some other device, and
it doesn't count as actual radio.
That's not what we were talking about.
It counts as actual radio, but it's not. Let's take
we were talking about traditional radio.
I'm just saying it all works. I'm glad you're there, George. I'm glad anyone who's listening's here. I often don't know why you're here, but I'm glad. I'm happy you're here.
No one's complaining.
Everybody's sending me pictures of their setups. Cardinal Art's got is that a boom box or is that an alarm? Is that no, that's a little boom box, a little Sony. That's quality. Like your stickers too. And he's got it on, well, for 1580 the Fanatic, a pedestal befitting. It's a milk crate. He says, outside of my fingers, that's my radio. Well, yeah, I figured that. I was hoping that was your finger. It was blurry. I wasn't going to judge. All right, listen. Random texter says, Jeffrey, 100-inch TV. It's called selective channel changing. There's plenty out there we're seeing at 100 inches. Yeah, but I got to go farther. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll go.
Nothing wrong with 65, and I just sit closer to the TV. I'm okay with that.
I think wall-size TVs. That's it. We can't go any further. Let's all agree we're good now. Make them clearer. Right?
Right.
All right. Let's take a break. We still haven't talked about ASU and what happened over the weekend. We've got a ton of NFL stuff that we have to talk about. A lot has happened there as well. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 30th. Hubba, hubba, huzzah! Huzzah! Great shopping. A giant crafts market. You'll love the Renaissance Festival with your favorite shows. Be ready to have a great time. And don't be afraid to participate. Huzzah! Jousting nights. Huzzah! Silly fun for the entire family. Huzzah! Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. Huzzah! Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable. You'll adore the Renaissance Festival. Weekends now through March 30th. Discount tickets available at Bashas' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashas', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Stop by Hall of Frames today and pick up your discount coupons for the Renaissance Festival. Hall of Frames has been family owned and operated since 1975. Nobody frames you better.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Yeah, there it is. Meat sticks and Hassan. Okay. Bullseye says, up, take it back. There's the wench. Oh, joy. Hubba, hubba. Huzzah. Big George says, I push a button, I can switch to AM and FM. I used to pick you guys up at night here in Carlsbad, but recently, unfortunately, there's a station from Santa Monica that gets in the way. Okay. Sir drives a lot. I'm getting pictures of the food getting grilled. Oh, that looks good. It does look good. That does look good. God dang it. Now we still have like an hour and 15 minutes left. What are you having for dinner, Keon?
What am I having for dinner? I think I've got the ravioli in a pork sauce.
In a can or
not in a can? No, like I got ravioli. It came in this package. I got it from Trader Joe's and went and boiled that last night. And then I got a sauce and I added some ground pork to it.
Oh, by the way, when you mentioned blemishes that would show up on our YouTube video, I realized that I have one. This is not a herp. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. I had an ingrown hair right here, and it looks like I got a herp. I do not have a herp. And
just gotta let the people know that. Yeah.
Well, no, I see. Here's the thing. I knew I was getting an ingrown hair right there. So I go to my wife and I'm like, honey, I need you to see me do this because I don't want you to think I got a herp because there's no herp here. So here's what happens if my little Irish whiskers can't break through, then I've got to clear the forest in the entire area. I pluck all the whiskers so that it doesn't do this. And unfortunately, I didn't get all of them. And this one little whisker was trying to come through. And then so I had to go back in there and get it. And she's like, man, it's angry. I'm like, yeah, I know. I said, but watch, it'll be gone in a day. The herp don't work that way. So I just want to make sure because, don't want her to get the wrong idea.
Right.
But now I'm sitting here, I'm seeing myself on the camera and I'm like, oh, that looks like a coal sword if I ever saw one. It's like I would be, I would not want to follow me using this microphone.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Wouldn't blame anyone. It's not what it is. It's this Irish skin. Yeah, Moist One just gave the winky face like, yeah, ingrown hair. Wink. It's just the truth, people. So it's not a good look. But I understand. Not talking about my ingrown hair.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about Bobby Hurley and ASU. So here's the thing. I'm kind of torn on this. So everybody knows, but I'm going to be professional and tell you that ASU hosted Arizona Wildcats. And got beat, which is fine. And in fact, it was, as far as games go, ASU was right in there with the team that beat number 3 Iowa State to the end. It was like there was like 2.5 minutes left when they finally let it slip away from them. So this was a good game. But the entire time, the Arizona guys were talking and talking and talking and just, but listen, we do the same thing. It's a rivalry for a reason. We do not like you. You do not like us. That said, after the headbutt, there towards the end, when Carter Bryant, okay, this is just the way rivalries work. But here's the thing. At the end, here's what everybody's talking about. I mean, not the ejections, not the headbutt. What they're talking about is the fact that Bobby Hurley says, everybody at the end of the game, get off the floor, go to the locker room. They're like, oh, that's classless. That is classless. Oh, Bobby Hurley, what? And then look, I just got moist one. Bobby's he's a little hitch. Is the H and the B that close to each other in the keyboard? Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Wow.
I think he did the right thing to prevent a brawl. Arizona and ASU going at each other the way they did. There was ejection when Freeman, headbutted Love. And things were too hot. I always wonder about these good game lines. Shake hands. Good game, good game, good game. I often wonder about that. Like, is that the best idea when these guys have been trying to kill each other the entire game? So no, it was the right thing to do to get your team off the court. But also, maybe after all that talk, if there hadn't been the headbutt incident, and remember, it was ASU guy who headbutted their guy.
Yeah, it was Freeman.
Yeah.
Who headbutted Caleb Love.
If that hadn't happened, then yes, you shake hands even if you lose. You should. But it got out of control. The whole thing was just out of control.
The fact that in the post-game presser, I don't think it was purely to prevent a brawl. I think it was partially that, but I do think also, I think that he thought that Arizona was classless and was not worthy of a handshake. That's what he spent most of the post-game talking about.
Dumb.
He spent most of the post-game talking about how he's got a vote for who's going to be Big 12 Player of the Year, and he ain't voting for Caleb Love.
That's
just
also
so you
petty
know.
As hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he also mentioned that there was a potential for a brawl and he wanted to squash that. That I respect. But the other aspect of it where he's just like, yeah, no, like those two guys were barking. They hadn't been policed properly. Those were his words. Just like they were out of line and he was not a fan of it. That played a part in his decision too.
So people chirp. And if they were being classless, if Arizona was being classless in the things they were saying, say something back. But this point of view, I can't go with. This point of view, I can't go along with. Getting your guys off the court to prevent a brawl, good idea, But to sit there and say it was, well, I just thought they were classless, and then somebody should have called, and they should. If you were right near our bench, it was relentless, constant chatter from a couple of the Arizona players. It wasn't being policed properly. It was done with no class. Okay. Listen, we have hacked and chirped on Arizona from these microphones relentlessly for 8 years.
And texters and Arizona fans send it back.
Oh, and I don't even read their stuff. So listen, we've been classless here too.
How little class are we talking? Because there are lines you can cross where it's like, all right, screw these guys. But I don't know that was the case because you would have said that. Like if it got to that territory, you would have mentioned that.
There's a lot of extra stuff here. Bobby Hurley, your player, crossed the line by headbutting Caleb Love. We lost our cool. You lose. The first people who lose their cool lose the argument. The first person who does the violence loses the argument. Bobby Hurley, you may feel a certain way, but that was dumb. You should not have said those things out loud. Now, I'm not going to jump on the same bandwagon where George wants to fire and then thinks Bobby Hurley is this and that. But yeah, this was not handled well. I don't agree with the thought process. Oh, Bobby Hurley, he's classless because he didn't shake hands. And even the other coach was like, no, I understand that. He's like, I got a lot of respect for Bobby in Arizona State. And he said, we want to be a program when tough things happen, we respond with class. I don't know if we did or didn't. Well, that's basically him saying, yeah, we were kind of, we were being jerks.
We were being jerks. We were at least not 100% innocent.
Tough moment in an emotional game is what he gave it. Listen,
to me, it's just, and Bobby Hurley, of all people, should know this, like, basketball is just like that. People talk in basketball. That's what most of basketball outside of the game itself is just people just relentlessly talking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even need a rivalry game for all that. You add the rivalry to that, you've just reached another level with this thing where, like, stuff like that just does happen.
BJ Freeman should be suspended.
Yeah,
I'm an ASU fan. BJ Freeman should be suspended for headbutting the guy. Now, did Caleb Love maybe have it coming? Probably. Did he need a good hit in the head? Yes. Probably needed it. Probably had it coming for days. Probably a couple other people on that team. But you come back and you either say something or you put something up. And I'm not talking fists. I'm talking the ball. Win the damn game. That's how you shut them up. You lost your cool. You lost the game because after that, they went on a 1-for-8 stretch. And that was the death nail of the ASU Sun Devils in that game.
Yeah.
At 2.5 minutes. You lost your cool. Happens. We all do. Who hasn't rage quit? Who hasn't gotten upset? And like, I've taken as much crap from that person as I can take. All right, that's fine, man. We were never expected to win the game. You were in the game. Oh, you were in the game.
And this thing's not over. That's my favorite part of this, is that 30 days, we'll be doing it again. And if
this time it'll be down south, won't it?
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse unless you get better.
Yeah, you're going to have to actually go out there and let your play do the talking.
So, for my opinion, Hurley was right to remove everybody off the court. Hurley was wrong in his press conference, the way he handled himself.
Yeah,
and the things that he said.
He came across as the more petty and smaller coach of the two coaches.
Now, I don't mind you wanting to punish a guy who's been chirping, because Hurley was at the bench too. Hurley heard everything. So that just means that guy that he is not going to vote for, that guy was probably pretty vocal and got under Hurley's skin. You just don't say it out loud.
Yeah, you don't have to sit there in your press conference and say, and I do get a vote for all conference, and I can tell you who's not getting the vote, and you can read into that whatever it is that you like. Come on, Bobby. You don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. That's so petty.
Come on, man. Come on. I mean, you're trying to have the last word. I get it. But come on. Go ahead and vote for someone else. Don't vote for him. Yeah, you can have your little revenge, but you don't say it out loud.
You are beefing with a 23-year-old right now.
Oh my God.
just let it go.
You were in the NBA, man. T. Leisure says, I wish I could agree with Coach Hurley, but Freeman started it, and we died the last few minutes. Northern Nogales Community College can suck it regardless, though. There you go, T. Leisure. Mm-hmm. That in a nutshell says everything I was just trying to say. Hefty Lefty says, he pulled a Zinedine Zidane. Headbutts are very 2006.
Yeah.
I mean, can I just tell you, though, if you're gonna, that's kind of badass. The headbutt's kind of badass.
It's kind of badass. I would say more conviction.
Can I
if
also
you're gonna
say,
do it?
Yeah, you really hit it.
Because he just kind of bumped him, and I'm
You know
like,
why? As an Irishman, I can tell you, a headbutt hurts both parties involved, but you're doing that out of sheer pettiness and hoping it hurts the other guy more.
that's how you know you hate a guy.
All right, everybody, we got to take a moment. That's hour 2 down and one more to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level, and that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Are those Mario mushrooms on your hat?
Yeah.
Wow, damn, I'm impressed with myself that I was able to identify that. What do you get when you hit the mushroom? I don't remember. Just everything? It's just random things? What's the mushrooms get you?
Yeah, I mean, the regular red mushroom just makes you bigger.
So
you start off at like half size, and then you get that, and you get.
They got to lock those into condoms. That's what they makes you bigger.
Oh,
well, why not?
There are people who'd appreciate that. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so cool hat. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Is it cold in there? Is that where you're wearing a stocking hat there? Or is that just a fashion thing?
It was just a fashion thing.
All right.
And it was kind of chilly when I left the house this morning.
Mm-hmm. It was like 85 degrees today, man.
Yeah, and then it got warm, so I ditched the jacket, but I do have the hat.
Yeah.
Still.
The hat doesn't look too thick. Hefty Lefty says the red mushroom is Tadanophil. I'm sure I'm not saying this right. I'm not a mushroom person. Tadanophil. Is he making me say something?
Let me Google this. It's like that's not a type of mushroom I've ever heard of.
Is that a mushroom that'll kill you? Are you well versed in mushrooms, Keon?
I am not. No.
I'm gonna say.
I do have friends that are interested. No, that is the pill that makes you double up in size.
I'll be damned. So that's the word that Nintendo gave it.
No, that's not what Nintendo gave it. This is genuinely
it's another kind of Viagra.
Yeah.
Oh, Hefty. I should have known better. Latina Leprechaun says, nice stocking hat, Keon. Reminds me of Christmas. You're always fashion forward and not fashion backward.
Well, thank you.
I'm not fashion anything. I'm just here. I'm just here. You're lucky I've got clothes on. We all are, really. So can I just say, I mean, we only have a couple of things to deal with before we talk some NFL. We're probably not going to have to deal with this in baseball. And there's no more Canadian baseball teams. There's no Canadian football teams.
Wait, don't we still have the Toronto Blue Jays?
Do we?
Yeah.
All right. So there is a Canadian baseball team. All right. That's why I asked. And so there's one baseball team. There's one NBA team, the Raptors. And then there's a shload of hockey teams.
Yeah. Montreal, Calgary, Winnipeg.
So, hey, Canada, this was not us. It wasn't the players. None of the players had anything to do with tariffs. Keon didn't have anything to do with tariffs. I didn't have any. America itself didn't have it. 50% voted for the guy who want tariffs. So I'm just saying, why are you booing us at a sporting event? Why are you booing our national anthem at a sporting event? These players didn't do this. The players are out there hand over heart, and it's the national anthem. They didn't do this. Us fans of whatever team visits your country didn't do this. You want to single out half of them and say, I mean, nobody wants this. So, I mean, I get it. You're grumpy about it.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to be jerks. This 15-year-old female anthem singer, she's getting booed throughout her entire performance. She didn't do this. She didn't impose tariffs. So this is rude. So when you boo our team, our singer, and then the fans, you guys don't seem very friendly at all. That seems like a real jerk move.
Yeah, I think that it's probably not booing those people so much as booing to be heard by everyone else.
But that person is not there. The person's not there that you're trying to reach.
Right.
Please leave a message and call back later. So in the meantime,
in a different way. And
maybe
like
understand that we are still friends and allies.
I mean, at the moment, you can't, as the president, casually joke about invading your ally, but sure. But I do think that, the 15-year-old who's singing the song, like, she's not going to understand what point you're trying to make. She is going to think you're booing her. What else is she supposed to think?
She didn't levy a 25% and 10% tariff on your goods and energy stuff. This is like a dumb place to do this, if you ask me. Now, I know you're saying this is the platform they have and they want to send that message. It just doesn't. I mean, I don't know.
I just think that there are actually plenty of other good ones. In this particular instance, as fans, it means that you have other avenues as a group, a collective group of people that you can meet in another place and do this, as opposed to,
I feel like if you want a Donnybrook, we can do this. You want to fight? Let's fight. I mean, I'm not saying killing it, but we could have a good fist fight over this. You want to boo us? It's like, hey, we didn't start this. You guys started it, Canadians. So now let's do this. Let's go ahead and have a brawl. Then later we'll have a beer. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a brawl. Then we'll have a beer. You don't got to be like this. There's only one person whose idea this was. But all right, you want to fight? Let's fight. Let's go. Oh, let's boo the hell out of their teams when they show up here now. Or we can make them feel really bad and be the bigger person.
which would be new.
And we're clapping
new
for Canada. Us. And then they're like, oh, we're so humiliated.
Brand new frontier. No. Us being the nice ones. We've never done this before. We're kind of new at it.
Not familiar territory. But I think we should try. If we can do it, we should. Well, we'll show you little guys. Now, that said, I actually, back in the early 90s, friend says, hey, I got a computer. Ooh, you must be rich. And he brought me over and he's like, look at this. And he was on what used to be called a chat room, used to be called a bulletin board. Mm-hmm. And it was DOS. And you're like, and he's like, I am talking to people from Canada. I'm like, can I take a turn?
No, I don't like.
He's like, sure. So I type in there, how's it going, Canada? Me and my friends get a pickup truck and some axe handles, and we can come up and take your country whenever we feel like it. They weren't happy. And I caused an international incident on a bulletin board. And my friend was so mad. He's like, you got me kicked off. They won't even talk to me now. I'm like, no loss. Why are you talking to Canadians? What's the big deal?
Because of how cool it was to just be talking to anybody, any place else in the world at the time.
Talk to some Americans. They're people in other parts of the country.
Damn.
So I have started some chirping, international incidences myself. So, hey, you want to chirp? We'll chirp. You want to fight? Let's fight. But, don't take it out on this poor little girl who's singing the anthem for her country.
And because she is 15, did not vote. Regardless of whatever it is she thinks, she didn't vote.
Mm-hmm.
She's not old enough. So yeah.
Devil Hawk, you're right. This is a whole bunch of nothing, really. Trump's just using the threat of tariffs as a negotiation tactic to get concessions from the Mexicans and the Canadians, which he got. So he's delaying tariffs as of today. I don't know did Canada come to the table on this? Because I know the Mexican president lady would talk to him. They said we had a very nice talk. And I say, this is not going to be forever. This is not going to go on. This is probably not the best way of doing things, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be very effective.
Not that I've seen. It actually looks like Canada's planning on retaliating. So
okay,
I have not seen the Canadians have come to the table on this at all.
If we all got into some friendly fist fights, I'd be all for it.
Yeah,
no guns.
And
please don't shoot.
And this is the reason why I'm like a little concerned about this. If you want to go to war economically, we just get screwed over. Like the tariffs don't hurt. He's already rich. It hurts you and me.
Yeah,
we don't have any money. So when we're paying $1 billion for a gallon of milk,
Yeah, I'm aware of this.
I'm not.
We
I'm
can't
not
stop
thrilled.
it. Yeah, let's just watch how it plays out.
I would rather not. But again,
we have no choice.
We have
no choice.
It's just going to happen either way.
Man, Canadians, I thought they were nice people. I just can't believe
you throw the concept of like, here's something that's going to screw up your entire economy. People do tend to get mad about that. I think their anger is just not directed in the right place. Like maybe 15-year-olds who sing the national anthem maybe shouldn't be on the receiving end of that.
I like the Chinese's version. They're like, oh, so you think we can't get soybeans anywhere else? we'll just go to Russia and get them. We're good.
Yeah, so they're closer, actually. So
Heffy Leffy says a few MLS teams too. Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto. Hundreds of fans at those games.
Hundreds.
That's good.
Oh man.
Big George says very classless moves by the Canadian fans, booing the national anthem. Dodger Danny says, hey, inquiring minds want to know, do you think the NFL is rigged? If not, what do you think about those who do? I do not think it's rigged. And people who do think it's rigged, I understand their frustration. I understand what they're seeing, but I think, that is a reaction you can have to it. And I got to be honest, there have been some calls where I don't know that the NFL's rigged, but I think some referees have been told by the NFL, all the referees probably said, hey, we got to protect the quarterbacks, but I don't know if it was absolutely specific. Maybe it was, but flat out rigged? No, that's too big. It's too big a thing. It's like when you say teams are tanking. Keon himself has said, well, then that means the GM had to talk to the coach, who talked to the players, who talked to the equipment guy. Everybody would be in on it. You can't keep that secret. It would leak. You just can't. And I feel like it'd be the same thing with the officials. That's too big a secret for that many people to keep. There's probably 100 plus referees. I'm trying to just do the math. Actually, more.
Yeah, because
if there's 7 on a game and there's 16 games, so whatever we're not doing math here.
Yeah, and also like we were talking about reserves as well. Like there are referees that they have in case so and so is sick, and
memos would leak, paper trails would happen, and if there's no paper trail, people jabba jabba jabba. You just could not keep that secret that long. Lost Toby says Trump made up the Mexican concessions. They had that 10,000 troop agreement in place since June of last year.
Yeah, I just Googled that. And Mexico and Canada have decided to just strengthen their relationship with each other. So this is going swell. This is lovely.
Okay. Bullseye says, hey, Dodger Danny, how was that funeral the other week? The Fourth Dimension was debating crashing it, but we didn't. Oh, yeah, Dodger Danny, you accidentally texted us about the funeral at the Whitney Murphy at 3 p.m. Hopefully that went well.
I'm glad nobody crashed it. That would have been incredibly awkward.
Fourth Dimension in the house. Why are you here? Moist One says, wasn't that singer Canadian? Well, I was under the impression she was American. I don't know. It's good point. Imagine she was a kid. She's getting booed. Dodger Danny says, yeah, I knew that was going to bite me. I was actually trying to text one of the directors. Hey, thank you for not crashing the funeral. It did go very well. Also, you probably wouldn't have had room because it was packed.
Well, the funeral of a person that was actually liked. We wouldn't know anything about that either.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a huge crowd at mine. Just not.
The people at my funeral will really love me, but there's not going to be a ton of them.
Feel like, no, we won't need to pay extra for traffic control. I think we're good. I think just everybody's good. So Angel Reese, by the way, have you watched any of this Unrivaled 3-on-3 basketball? Did you watch any of that?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Well, Angel Reese immediately got ejected. Like a minute left to go in the first half. She was sitting there arguing, and after a play just didn't go the way she she was just doing a thing with her hands, and they're like threw her out. It's kind of weird.
A little bit.
Who's in control of these officials? How much are you paying these girls? Now you're going to eject the star?
Well, the thing is, if she was actually crossing lines or whatever, which I didn't
She
really
did put a girl on her butt. I know that.
And I also know Angel Reese is a pretty fiery person, and some of her language can get a little colorful. I'm not saying that she deserved to be ejected. I'm saying there is a world where it's possible she actually said something that was ejection worthy. And being a star shouldn't protect you from that if you're trying to actually grow this, you know?
Okay. So it was what she said.
It does seem like it.
Well, congratulations, Angel. You are the first person ejected from Unrivaled. And then on the other side, Caitlin Clark, she went to get her jersey retired, and her just being in the room caused Iowa to be able to upset USC. in the game, 76-69. Number 4 USC. So yeah, it's weird to see people young get something retired.
Yeah,
but I mean, she's really young, and all of a sudden her jersey's retired. You're like, that's weird.
I think
that's gotta feel strange.
I'm sure it does, but I don't think she realizes yet. It's one of those things that when you get older and then like you have like an actual WNBA team retire your jersey, and you're like, oh, you know what? This is what having your jersey retired feels like after a full career, as opposed to, you know, in my early 20s.
I'm 54 years old. I gotta wait another 15 years before I get me retired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just Lost Toby says, I'll go to your funeral dressed as Death, and I'll just stand there silently. I wouldn't even complain. I'd be happy. I mean, I'd be dead, but still, I support that idea.
If you could just stand behind my brother and just ominously stand behind him, he wouldn't appreciate it, but that's exactly why you should do it. It'll freak him out a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'll leave a list behind of who I want you to intimidate. Dodger Danny says the guy who had the funeral played basketball for University of West Virginia, and he was the one that created the shirt that said, "How about the Mountaineers?" Instead, it said, "How about them ears?" EERS.
Oh,
well,
cool.
I got to come up with a shirt design quick.
Yeah,
my shirt design sold, but I don't know if I'm going to be remembered for Kids Cause Cancer. Tell me you won't wear that T-shirt. If I gave you that, you'd wear that T-shirt. Kids Cause Cancer.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
And it's like in a little crayon kind of font.
I would. I'm
all happy across the front.
I'm not gonna lie. If that popped up, that I'd pre-order it.
I should put that back up for sale. I should. I made money on that. So I don't think my funeral is going to. I don't think we're going to be standing room only at that point. So, all right, listen, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk football, huh? Finally, some NFL football. It's Super Bowl week. Can you believe it? It's also the week of the Phoenix Open. So much to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
The Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks rocked the NBA world over the weekend when the Lakers acquired 25-year-old superstar Luka Doncic in exchange for Anthony Davis. This has boosted the odds of the Lakers to win the Western Conference, something Dallas did last year. They are now plus 850, just behind the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. They're also moved up in the NBA futures to win the championship. Now, Lakers are now sixth at plus 1,600. The Celtics are the betting favorite to win the title and repeat as champions at plus 210. Oklahoma City plus 225. The Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 850. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sporttrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the Sporttrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on Sporttrade are instantly accepted. Download Sporttrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sporttrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Head coach Bobby Hurley and Sun Devil men's basketball are ready to join the Big 12 Conference. This season, the Sun Devils host conference foes Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, TCU, and Houston, all at Desert Financial Arena.
And another steal ahead to Miller. And Miller reverses it up and in. And he's fouled. Holy moly.
Join the action and get your Sun Devil men's basketball tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
On the road again.
Just Neil. First of all, stop singing. Second of all, why are you singing?
I think he's singing about our Super Sunday pregame show coming up on the morning of the big game.
That's right. On February 9th, we're broadcasting live from the Spot Neighborhood Grill in Glendale.
We'll talk about football, of course.
We'll have special guests and great audience giveaways.
And listeners can meet the Weekend Warriors in person.
So join us live for the Weekend Warriors Super Sunday Preview Show
at the Spot Neighborhood Grill on Bell Road in Glendale.
February 9th from 9 to noon on 1580 The Fanatic.
Staying Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. It's never not funny. It's never not funny. Sir Drives a Lot sent me a picture of James Corden in a Lakers shirt saying, Luka Doncic showing up to practice. It's never not funny. I'll always find James Corden as Luka Doncic funny. If we had a TV show, it would be on the screen for most of the show, just right there, just right up here or right over here, or maybe down here. I don't know. That's always going to be funny to me. I wish I thought or seen that years ago when we were fighting it out with Luka. I don't know, it's the first time I even
there's something about him going to LA that makes that connection with James Corden make more sense.
Yeah. So now there's two guys that look like that nobody likes. Did you watch any of the Pro Bowl games?
Just some of the quarterback stuff, and then after that, not really. No.
Wow, that was like way more than I did.
It just happened to be on in here. That's how I watched it.
You know, I told you that Jared Goff is dumb.
You have mentioned that on a few occasions.
You know, listen, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but you're not supposed to look that happy for missing the Super Bowl. He's holding the trophy, and who's the other guy in there? Byron Murphy. Him and Byron Murphy are holding up this trophy for the NFC winning whatever the hell it was. I guess, did they tally up all the events or something, or just the flag football?
You cannot
ask. A hell of a trophy for a flag football game.
It really is. I think it's for all the events together, though, and I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm guessing.
Look how happy he looks. He's like, it looks like he's just happy as if he won a Super Bowl. It's like, no, Jared, it's not the Super Bowl. It's not the Super Bowl, right, Jared?
I
know you don't know which side of the sky the sun rises and sets in. You are not supposed to be that happy when you're not in the Super Bowl.
I don't think that he's genuinely happy, but you're on vacation. You can't find a moment to smile a week or two after. He's on vacation. Is that man even sober right now? Who could say?
That's a good. Well, yeah, I'm sure he took it very seriously. Byron Murphy, definitely not sober. He's got the glasses to cover up his bleary eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, Lost Toby. He's sent in it's like Luka's first triple double in LA, and it is. It's from In-N-Out Burger. It's a triple double right there.
I knew it. I knew that was the joke.
It says In-N-Out Burger better than Whataburger. I don't know why they need to flex on Whataburger.
Because he's from Texas. He's not from Texas. He's coming from Dallas, where Whataburger is.
Oh, it's true though. Sorry, I like Whataburger.
I like Whataburger too. In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out's better.
In-N-Out Burger is better. Especially, I don't know. They had Whataburger got some new ownership in the last 5 or 6 years, and ever since that happened, it's been an In-N-Out Burger by a lot.
Yeah. Listen, I'll never say no to either.
Yeah. every now and then I'll go and get a.
But if you had an In-N-Out burger next to a Whataburger would be very lonely.
It depends. Is it
unless the long line at In-N-Out made you go over to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm just hungry. I can't wait.
I get all my Whataburgers on the Texas toast though. I have to.
Big George was threatening. He's like, hey, we should start a campaign to retire your number at your high school. And he starts to list the guys from the high school I went to that are famous. And I was like, do not do that. He's like, oh, it was just a joke. Yeah, but you do those things, George. You talked to OJ Simpson on Twitter about me. You have, what was the last thing you did? Oh, I didn't ask you to do this when Angel Soft, when I got my little toilet paper thing, he's on there going, you should give Jeffrey O'Brien free toilet paper. And I'm like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask. Please don't do those things.
Please don't do that. You don't.
So
have
when
to
you
do
tell me you're going to talk to the high school I went to about retiring a number, no. I've distanced myself from those people.
That was on purpose.
I'll tell you why. I'll even tell you why. I went to Mountain View High School, and at a like I can't remember what it was, 30 year. I don't know. It was getting ready for a reunion. And we had a little pre-reunion and got together at this bar with a bunch of people from there that I knew. And I was like, oh, it's good to see you again. And then when I started to notice is it became like Caligula. All these people started cheating on their wives and husbands with people they used to go to high school with. And it became this big mess. And I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with this or you as people anymore. And I got rid of all of these people off my social media, every single one, except for two that are cool. One was a lawyer that I stabbed in the hand with a fork once. Long story. And the other one is just a very nice girl. Very nice girl. She was just a very nice Irish girl. She was just never like that. So, but yeah, I was just like, don't want nothing to do with it now. So that's why, George, maybe don't reach out on my behalf to toilet paper companies or anyone else. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, sure. OJ is dead now. Yes. Thank you, George. And I am safe from him. But there was a period of time where he was alive and well, and that could have really gone badly for me. Sir Drives a Lot says Jared Goff has reasons to smile. Have you seen the success of the Lions before Goff? Well, same outcome.
I think it matters. I think it matters. I think.
Listen, they are better with Goff.
Like, I know that everybody.
They're better with Dan Campbell. They're better with the players they have now that they didn't have before.
Needed all of the above.
Yeah.
But I don't think that your outcome isn't Super Bowl, so your season's a complete loss. You start to get to a point where the Lions are right now, where it's like you guys have enough talent. You should probably capitalize on that. But as a person who watched a team not go to the Super Bowl by not going to the playoffs for 18 straight years, I can honestly say I'll take the one where you fall short in the playoffs. I like this version better than the other one.
Well, I feel like whether it was Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford, this current version of the team would have done the exact same. I don't think that it was a difference of Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford. I think it was a difference of everything else.
Yeah, they had to. I think they had to build to this, and part of that was, the move for Goff, who is, younger and kind of new with this new regime, so that you're able to kind of move things in a different direction instead of going the way that was a little bit more established. And I think the fresh start for Stafford, good for him in LA.
By the way, I saw that Bear Claw. He says Agent Orange backed down on the tariffs to Canada for 30 days. So now we're back to okay with Canada and Mexico. I don't know if they're going to still boo us,
because here's the thing: if you push too hard on the tariff thing, everyone around you in the world is just going to be like, we'll just work with each other and not you now.
I don't know that he needed to do that to get their attention. They probably would have returned his call.
Yeah,
just talk to us.
You are sitting in the most important seat. I think you could just call.
Maybe he's just having fun. Maybe he's like playing this like he plays Madden. I don't know.
Which is a little bit scary, but also, I mean, wouldn't not make sense.
We're all still okay. We're all still okay. Jonesy says, forget about how the Lions are with Goff. Have you seen the dude's wife? Hard to have bad days coming home to her.
haven't seen
really
his wife.
irrelevant to.
Yeah,
but
I just genuinely I don't look
keep
up
my eyes on my own work.
the wives of athletes because they do not care who they are married to and or are dating. Just do not care.
Cardinal
at
Art
all.
says breakfast on a bun for me all day. Jeffco, best thing at Whataburger. I've never had that.
I've seen it, but I'm a creature of habit and I order the same thing every time I go there. So I haven't tried the breakfast on
I'm
a
gonna
bun.
tell my wife next time because sometimes she'll be out in the morning and say, "Hey, you want me to bring back some Starbucks? They have these little sandwiches, or you want me to bring back some McDonald's breakfast?" We haven't done McDonald's breakfast in like forever, but Whataburger. We both love the Whataburger.
Do love the Whataburger. Maybe
can I ask her? Hey, maybe do that because that's I think in the same area. Random texter says Whataburger biscuits and gravy for breakfast is pretty legit.
That is
I
nice.
had no idea that was a choice.
That is nice. It's been a while since I've had it, but the last time I had it, I had a grand old time. Had a good old time.
So yeah, by the way, the whole point was the NFC won the third straight Pro Bowl games. Hooray.
Good for the them.
Against the spread says Jeffrey, you should have reached out to me about your OJ Simpson situation. I could have provided security for you. OJ's easy to spot with that big old head. Yeah, I mean, I just blocked him. The minute George posted that about me, I blocked OJ Simpson on Twitter. Just like I don't want him to figure out who I am, where I am.
Nothing of the sort.
Don't need that smoke.
Most
man.
unnecessary thing Big George has ever done.
I could probably outrun OJ, but if he surprises you, well, he doesn't have to run, does he? 2 people got killed on the porch, if you know what I'm saying. Cardinal Art says, been eating the same thing from Whataburger since I was 15. I'm 45 now.
When you find your order, you just know it. It just
Breakfast on
sticks
a
with you.
bun.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it, Cardinal Art. What's on there? What is on there? You don't tell me I forgot because you've been eating it for 30 years. Lost Toby says, this year is weird enough. Let LeBron and KD on the Warriors. Just make it complete. Oh, my God. LeBron James, KD, and
Steph
Curry
oh,
all on the Warriors together. It'd be the Olympic team all over again. I actually don't mind that.
I don't mind it either. I think it would be hilarious.
The Lakers and the Suns would be like, what? That I'm for it. I'm for that, Lost Toby. I love my Suns, but that's just too funny. Mike Evans, you're incorrect. I love Mike Evans. Think he's a great player, but you are incorrect. Here's what he said about participating in the Pro Bowl games and playing flag football. He says, well, this is good practice for me in the Olympics. Sorry, what? Yeah, it's good practice for the 2028 Olympics where we're going to play flag football. No, it's not. It's 3 years away. He says, I don't know, but if I'm retired, I'm definitely going to play in the Olympics. Just this one game is not practice.
Mike Evans will be 35 years old. It's not exactly peak wide receiver, is what I'm saying.
Still, it's not practice. It's yeah. Is that all you need?
Was he?
Two years later, you're ready to go.
I need to hear his voice. How serious was he when he said that? Because if he was just kind of joking, all right, cool.
I can only read it the way I read it.
Yeah, but if
this is good practice for me in the Olympics, most likely I'll be retired by 2028. How many years is that? 3 years? I don't know. But if I'm retired, I would definitely like to play in the Olympics. You're right. Everybody was drunk. So I probably take that with a grain of salt.
Because the Pro Bowl is in Vegas. I just assume nobody is sober the entire time they're doing any of those things.
I'm trying to see if he said this in Sarcastica. No, it doesn't say anything about it, but you're right. I needed to hear that with my own earballs. But this story is taking it serious. The story I'm reading, it's like, hey, if Evans seems to think that recently retired players should compromise the team, it's like, dude, okay, take it easy. It's flag football.
Compromise the team. What
USA
are we
men's
talking
are
about?
defending world champions with a team of non-NFL players, but still. Okay, I'm just going to throw this paper away now.
I mean, it's just wow, that person turned into a grump.
Somebody's taking things way too seriously.
It's flag
What's
football.
this? Is that true? Oh, look at that. Breaking news from Big George that might actually, I don't know how breaking it is, but Cooper Kupp announced Monday that the Rams are seeking to trade him immediately and will be working with the club to find the right destination.
It is a little bit breaking because like they were taking phone calls, but it's gone from that to
why'd they go anti-Amish so fast? You're right. That story just broke. Wow, good for you, George. Normally, your breaking news is stuff we talked about 20 minutes ago. But he says, I don't agree with the decision. I always believed I was going to begin and end in L.A. Still, there's one thing I've learned over the years. There's so many things that are out of your control. So, yeah, he's bummed about it, too.
Yeah.
I know he was a little flat there, but he's not bad.
He's not bad, but I actually think this is good for him because when he plays with Nacua, it's not.
We'll take you on the Colts. Sorry, that's just my sorry.
Puka Nacua is the deep threat. He is the number one target, and Cooper Kupp gets ignored. Anytime Puka Nacua has been injured, you've seen the old Cooper Kupp. He's not gone. He's not done. He's not washed up. But the offense is just not geared towards him at all. So
why would they give up? But listen, you're having Puka and Cooper Kupp on the field together. That's lightning in a bottle. That's good news for your offense. But
he hasn't been producing with that. They haven't produced together. It's either Nacua,
throw the damn ball to him.
It's an either or thing. And they want the big explosive plays. And Sean McVay's talked about this a lot. The explosive plays are what you try to target and aim for. Cooper Kupp doesn't necessarily give you that. He gives you the old reliable, we're going to dink and dunk our way up the field, which also works, but that's not what they're trying to do.
Well, guess what happens now? When you got Cooper Kupp and you have Puka Nacua on the field, you're not 100% sure which way Matthew Stafford's going. You get rid of Cooper Kupp, guess what? I know 100% where you're going with this ball.
The issue, and I agree with you, but I think the issue that the Rams were realizing that they had is it doesn't matter if you know where the ball is going. Puka's just beating people. He's still getting the ball. He's still getting open. He's still beating guys. So if it doesn't matter, why do you need another guy running underneath who's not really getting the ball as much? And I do think for Kupp, it's nice to just maybe have a place where the offense is more geared to the way you play the game.
So I'm trying to figure out the math on Cooper Kupp. If I want him on the Colts, or say you want him on your Commandos,
I take him. I would absolutely take him.
I'm happy, but here's the thing: he does come with a cap number of $29.8 million.
I'd take him. Mm-hmm.
Worth the 30. Worth the 30 to you.
Worth the 30 to me. Yeah.
God damn it! I think so. I think I agree.
I can see if I close my eyes and allow myself to dream of Terry McLaurin.
No, listen, he's not coming to the Colts, but boy, what Jaden Daniels could do with Cooper Kupp.
That's what I'm saying.
And Scary Terry. How many years do you think he's got left?
I would say, 8, 9. He's not old. He's about halfway through his career-ish.
Sir Drives a Lot says he thinks the Rams are going for Garrett.
That would explain a lot. That's just mean.
By the way, he's requesting a trade, but the Browns are saying no.
Yeah.
So why does that mean?
Because if you put Myles Garrett on the other side of Jared Verse, what is anyone supposed to actually do? What
curl up and die?
What is your offensive line supposed to realistically do against those two people? That doesn't even seem right.
They can go for Garrett without cutting loose Cooper Kupp at this moment. You could do one and then the other. So I don't know if that's actually
they could, but maybe a trade could involve Cooper Kupp, which I would hate for him to go to the Browns of all places.
Oh God, no!
I don't want that for Cooper Kupp.
No,
go someplace that's good.
That weird snaggletooth Amish fellow. Against the Spread says Whataburger has the best country gravy and mango Mussolini. Was using the trade war as okay. You've got to put punctuation,
a period, a comma.
Whataburger has the best country gravy.
Period.
Let me have that. Let me digest that.
End of sentence.
Now, Mango Mussolini was using the trade war as leverage for our neighbors to provide border security. Okay. Mussolini.
I've never heard that one before.
Sir Drives a Lot says, run for their life. Okay. Kyle G says, Cooper to Green Bay for Melton in a second. Who? What? Huh? Did you follow that?
Melton?
Says Cooper Kupp to Green Bay for Melton and a second. Kyle G, it's very specific. We may not be familiar with all the players involved in your head. Cardinal Art says, okay, so here's it is. The breakfast in a bun, sausage or bacon with eggs and cheese on one of the softest warm buns you will ever taste. Or add both bacon and sausage. Ooh. I'll just go bacon and eggs to start with and see where it goes from there. What do you got, Keon?
Bo Melton.
Okay.
Is not even, he's like the 6th wide receiver on the depth chart. You know that that's not happening, right? You know that they're not going to receive Bo Melton in trade for Cooper Kupp, and that they would probably also want back a good player. And like, yeah, you take the second, you take Bo Melton for. Why would? Why?
Kyle G, explain yourself. Search drives a lot? I got that. Yes, run for your life if Garrett and Verse are on the same team. All right, we didn't get nearly as much done as I'd hoped we would today, but that's all right. We still have one segment left. We got on this date in Big Georgia sports history and whatever else we can cram into that segment. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge. The Metamucil 2-week challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level, and that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So, okay, that's great. Why not? So the next thing we're going to get is games in Australia. That's right. The NFL says we will be hosting games in Australia in 2026. That seems like the worst case scenario for any team to go 14, 18 hours, depending on where you are in the country when you start the travel. But yeah, they're like, yeah, we're going to Australia soon, the next year. I don't know how many games they're talking about doing, but I guess we go to 18 games, which is likely to happen in the next couple of years. They're saying, though, the Eagles and the Rams will be the first teams to play in Australia.
Why? But I say this every time they announce a new country, so they buckle up for the same kind of talk. None of this makes any sense to me. This is the most inconvenient version of this that they have ever created.
Yeah, this is the worst. But the Melbourne Cricket Ground will host 3 total NFL games starting in 2026.
We barely have the soccer fields in Europe fully adapted for an NFL game, and we are going to try and convert a cricket field?
Money solves all problems, Keith.
This is great. This is fantastic.
We're investing tons of money to have a place to play in a place that's very far away. So many things. You're going to need 2 bye weeks for this. That's so far.
Yeah. I mean, if you think the jet lag going from, I don't know, Indianapolis to Germany is bad, what do you think it's going to be if you have to go from Dallas to Melbourne?
If there's 3 games, why are we only hearing about the Eagles and the Rams? There's going to be 4 other teams.
I don't think they've got the other stuff hammered out yet then.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do have to figure out the logistics of how is this going to work in an NFL schedule. And they might have got the beginnings of that worked out with this one game. They haven't worked out with the other ones.
This
objectively bad idea they continue to do that nobody asked for.
We're just at a point in our nation's history where they'll keep telling us stuff, and we're like, it sounds like a bad idea, but I guess we're going to see how it plays out.
Yeah, they just do it.
Just everything, just everything right now is that same way.
Yeah,
we're being conditioned. You're like, oh, we're gonna start having NFL games at 2 a.m. Sure, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else you got? Oh, we're gonna do this. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We're gonna all of the football players, they're now gonna wear capri pants. All right, fine. See how this thing goes. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, we have a new deal. With a special kind of electric toothbrush with the NFL. So guys on the sidelines will have to use on the side. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever you say. Just keep going, whatever you say. Number 1 Rattlers fan says, have you guys seen footage of the Australian Rules Football League? No pads, and they're brutal and fast. I know a few of them could probably play linebacker or running back in the NFL. Yeah, I love Australian rules football. I love rugby. That's so much fun. And a lot of how much CTE is there on that? Probably no more than soccer. Because when your head is unprotected, you protect your head.
It's like how you drive if you've got an airbag in your steering wheel versus a giant spike pointed at your chest. I bet you drive a whole lot slower if the spike is the thing that's there.
Spike would be I'd be driving like
if you know that a collision
granny.
With someone with another, like your head colliding with another person's head, if you know that that's going to just going to be you feeling all of that, you play a little differently than if you got a helmet on.
So I feel like the players can adjust to an 18-game season. They'll find ways. Your load management will be probably tricky. It will be illegal, but it will be done. Players will, my ankle on a predetermined time.
Yeah.
And then they'll get a week off and be like, hey, my ankle's feeling better.
Gonna have to double bye week this. There's no logistical way to make this work. And because what happens if you have in an 18-week season, a week 13 bye week?
Bullseye says, in other news, the NFL announced they'll be having 3 games starting in 2032 on Mars, and no extra bye weeks for the team will be given. Okay, we'll just see how it plays out, I guess.
This is just what they decide to do. We're just along for the ride.
feel like the quickest you can get there is 6 months on a rocket ship, but
Just-
that's fine. Whatever works. Whatever works.
This is not just the NFL. This is, Rob Manfred and his golden bat. If he was really serious about that, we could complain all we want to. He's going to give us, we're going to get the golden bat, and we're just going to like it. Because what are we going to do?
What are you going to do? We have no control over
no
anything.
say in any of this.
Against the Spread says, hey, sorry for the bad punctuation earlier, gentlemen. I was distracted watching Pitt down 13 to a bad Virginia team. Pitt was favored by 13 pre-flop. A live action bet on Pitt to win at halftime might be a good play. Home team originally favored and moneyline bet. Could you please give me nickname origination rights for Mango Mussolini? Well, I'm not going to let you be Mango Mussolini.
No one.
But if you mean we have to say Against the Spread came up with it,
absolutely, yeah. Anytime it comes up, yeah,
that is a damn good one. Yeah, we've got your back on that one. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'm going to take a screenshot of the text on the text line with the date and send that back to you, and if forever you'll have that as proof that you came up with that, as far as we know. Now, if you stole it from somebody else, I don't know.
Yeah, well, then, that's on you.
King of Kitten says, why is it when you get home, the need to urgently pee becomes the most important thing to do?
I don't know. I actually had that coming into work today. Like I pulled into the parking lot and I was like, I have things I'd like to carry into the building.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really not the important thing right now. I've got to run to the bathroom.
Yeah, I get you. That's why I live like an hour away. So I got to try to make sure I have drained the main vein before I get in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even then, inevitably,
no
half
guarantee.
an hour out, I'm like, oh.
There's no guarantee.
Hey, better having to pee than something else.
That's true.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1886, Albert Spalding, with only $800, started a sporting goods company that manufactured the first official baseball, tennis ball, basketball, golf ball, and football. Spalding played Major League Baseball from 1871 and 1878, set a trend when he became one of the first players ever to wear a glove. Back to me, Jeffrey. Yeah. So he was doing that in the 1870s, and he was one of the first. And by the mid-1890s, it was normal for players to wear gloves. I mean, it makes sense when you figure it out, like when you had people using a pitchfork for hay. You're like, oh, look, a fork. Let's make a smaller one from a mouth. He was actually one of the first inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Albert Spalding. You see his name on all the balls. And, if you look at his plaque, when they put him in 1939, it says organizational genius of baseball's pioneer days, star pitcher of Forest City Club in late 1860s, 4-year champion for Boston from 71 to 75, and manager pitcher of champion Chicago and National League's first year, organizer of baseball's first round the world tour in 1888. There's nothing on there about the balls. Why wouldn't they mention the balls?
It just seems
in the glove
like a massive oversight. That's
what it is. I think he said, "I want to be known for being the great player I was." Right?
I guess that makes sense.
I can see that. I don't want to be known for being the equipment manager. Tell everybody how good I was at the game. I'm in here for the game.
But we can lead with that and end with, you also did this really cool other thing, which is that you made sports equipment that has stood the test of time. Everybody who has played any sport growing up has played with a Spalding.
But I got him, though. You want to be known in the Hall of Fame for your play more than, they just put him in there because he made the balls.
I wonder, because I don't know.
I'll take my ball and go home. You want the opposite of that.
I suppose, yeah.
So, but yeah, that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing that not only did he right after he got done playing, he's started up the company and it still is running today. That's a long time.
It's a very
long time for a company to be successful, and it's still doing great business. I don't know how many companies are around since then. Well, that didn't trade on human blood. You know what I'm saying?
This
is just sporting goods.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them.
There can't be that many.
Wilson and Spalding outside of that. So that's a good thing to be known for. It's a good thing to be known for. Number one Rattlers fan says any game before it starts is called a pregame. Sportsline calling it a pre-flop is a little bit ridiculous. That's a poker turn. I don't know. I'm never going to question against the spread in his betting terminology.
He's just really good at it. Sorry, man.
Bullseye says, I take it Spalding was not a fan of Rawlings. He's probably like, that rat bastard stole my ideas. Spalding, Rawlings, Wilson, I'm sure they all play poker. Why wouldn't you? Back then, that's what you did. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Daily Blender. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll get a chance to talk more NFL than we did today. What a crazy weekend. We'll see you guys. Have a great night. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my